Howdy folks, and welcome to 50 Nautical Mile Arc, and thank you for joining us on our fifth and final leg of our Lake Superior tour. We are in Thunder Bay, Canada, and we're going to be heading back to Duluth, Minnesota. It is nighttime. I've only done one other night flight on this channel, I believe. X-Plane 10 is known for its wonderful night textures and night lighting. It does get kind of funny when we get really high in the air because you can see the edge of the render distance. I do have my render distance turned up all the way, by the way. But when you're low to the ground, taking off a landing, that's when it looks best. So we'll get to enjoy that today. We are going to fly the Cirrus TheJet. That is default to X-Plane 10. I've only flown two other default planes in X-Plane 10, so this will be the third. I figured it'd be appropriate to fly Cirrus because Cirrus is headquartered in Duluth, Minnesota, and that is where we're going to end up today. So there's a plane down there, but it's night. Let's hop in and we'll get this thing started. Can't see anything, so you turn on your flashlight. Here we go. There's a red version as well, which is what you would use in the air, so it doesn't glare. But I'm going to use a white flashlight right now. I've only flown this once before, so we are going to learn together how to start this and everything, although I can't imagine it's that difficult. There should be a battery light. There we go. Oh, there we go. Turn on the generator. I think I can turn off my flashlight now. Yep. Let's see. I can't really see what that says. Now let's turn on the strobe light and beacon and the nav light right now. Avionics. There we go. The only thing we have turned off is landing light. Oh, well, that should be on after we've taken off. I'm going to turn it on now. No, you know what? I'll keep it off until we're in the air. Taxi light, landing light can wait. Alright, how do we start this thing? I think there's a switch up here, if I remember. Yep. Ignition, run, start, source, GPS. I'm going to turn on my fuel using my yoke, and I believe we can just start it up. Oh, stay there, we go. Not going to get it started. Let go. Come back down here. Oh, it's on 3, 4. Looks like it's going to start up. There we go. There's your throttle down there, flaps down here, elevator trim where it should be. Let's make sure this works. Nose down trim, nose up trim. I'm looking down here if you're wondering. There we go. And it's centered right about there. This is a very simple aircraft. The GPS, you can only put in one waypoint at a time, one radio at a time, etc., etc. But I like it. I have flown this before, but it's been a while. Let's see, so what do we want to do? Flight plan is pretty simple. I got to pull out my sheet here. Where is it? Okay, since we can only put in one waypoint at a time, we are going to put in home of what? Home of Cirrus. Oh, look at that. Home of Cirrus. So those of you who want to pull up the approach chart for KDLH for runway 27, the approach plate, you go to home of, waypoint home of, HOMUV, then the next waypoint to Cirrus, CIRUS, home of Cirrus. That is your approach plate. The United States is known for having silly waypoints like that, based on where you are, like if you're flying into Orlando, it's all Disney characters, things like that. I believe the UK is much more civilized and organized in that. So we are going to go to home of Cirrus, then we're going to land. That is hilarious. I've done this approach so many times and I've never realized that, but I've never done it in the Cirrus. So that's some fun little trivia. Let's see if I can remember how to use this simple little thing. I'm used to the full-fledged payware version. You know what? I'm just going to figure this out. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm not going to touch anything, and this is our trek here to Duluth. So I'm just going to leave it. When we get close, I will tune in the VOR. Well, I'll tune in the VOR now, but I'm just going to not worry about it. 108.7. 108.7. Oh, you can do 2 navs. Look at that. Anyway, we want nav 1. 108.7, that is our ILS. I don't really need it. I plan on doing a visual approach. It'll be well lit. How do I spin my heading bug? Let's do this. GPS. Come on. Change. GPS. There we go. How do I spin my heading bug around so that I can line it up for the whatever? I had this problem with that other jet, didn't I? The Eclipse. I'm just not good with the glass cockpit. I just haven't taken the time to learn. I really don't. I don't know. I don't care at this point. I love the simple general aviation props, so I'm going to spend most of my time on that, which is what I already do spend most of my time on. I just thought I'd have a little bit of variety. Sync, yada 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 yada. Let's turn on our taxi light because we're going to taxi out of here. Actually, I wanted to turn down my dome lights. I don't think that option is in here. This plane is very, very simplified. It gets a lot of complaints actually online, but again, it doesn't really. Whoops. It doesn't really matter to me. It's fine. Came with the sim. Good enough for me. Can we change this back to? Come on, I want to change this to. There you go. 15 miles. 10 miles. Alright, enough messing around. I really did want to see this with the dome lights off, but I guess that's not going to happen. Alright, throttle's back, parking brake is off. Let's get out of here. We need to carefully get around this plane here. And we gotta line up. There is a taxiway here. I'm gonna cheat, sorry. Where is it? There is a taxiway here. In the dark. Is it here? I think this is it. Yep, this is it. Okay. Let's get back inside. Oh, it's so hard to see with those lights on. It really mimics the glare nicely, doesn't it? There we go, that's easier to see now. I do have taxi lights on, right? You saw me turn my taxi lights on, didn't you? Taxi light on. Well, let's turn our landing lights on. That's a little better. Barely. I don't know why the taxi lights aren't doing anything for us. That's okay. There's the center line there, right? Alright, we're not off to the perfect start, but there's the new. Alright, let's see. Where do I get between the lines? Did I miss them? No, that's grass. Was it after this line? Is it up here? Must be up here. There it is. Whoops, hit the grass a little bit. Taxi signs are normally just before the taxiway on the left. I should know that. We're going to cross our runway here. And then taxi back. I think this is my very first nighttime taxi. Because those of you who saw my other night flight, we took off on the runway because we were at a huge airport and I didn't want to take the time to taxi. So I'm looking for the curve. Where's the curve? In my line, it should curve, and then I follow the curve. There it is. I'm just going to do it this way. Sometimes I'm convinced that real life would be a lot easier. You'll be able to see better. You have true peripheral vision, which is lacking in the sim. And I happen to have really good peripheral vision from playing in music ensembles and having to look at all the players at once plus my music, so this kind of bugs me not being able to see sideways, but we do what we can. It's cheaper to fly a sim than a plane. by tens of thousands of dollars. Okay. That gate over to the right is a whoa. That gate to the right I was looking at did not line up with that airplane. Okay, getting ready here. Let's turn left. Yep. Alright, we're going to say we have clearance to get on the runway, which should be right about here. We're going to follow the yellow line. Could have stopped and looked, I guess, but I'm really nervous for some reason. I want to film this plane. Watch out, let's stop here a second. Yeah, I get flaps down. I should have put the flaps down while I was taxiing. Parking brake. Where are my flaps on this? Go. Okay, flaps. Let's see. They're takeoff, landing separate. It just says full. Do we have 2 or 3? We just have 2. So we'll go halfway. And we're trimmed for takeoff. And gear. This is gear. We're not going to use autopilot. Alright, let's get out of here. Alright. Can't really see that last cockpit from here. Are we good to go? I don't know. I don't know what takeoff speed is in this. Alright, well, we're up. Gears that one, right? Nice. Right, let's do flaps up right away. Why are we leaning? Alright. I really wish I could turn these lights off inside this cabin so we could see the night lights better. And, oh, we're already in the direction we need to go. Alright, cool. That means Lake Superior will be on our left. And let's get some altitude and get out of here. Very easy to fly. There we go, we're lined up. I think I need to set this view a little closer. I can't really see what I'm doing here. I think this is going to be my main view. There we go. Look out the window. It's nice. Let's have a look outside quick. There we go, there's Thunder Bay, Canada. Lake Superior. And then rural Canada. Minnesota's in front of us already. In fact, we could already be over the border of Minnesota at this speed. All the traffic down there. If you look carefully, you'll see police cars and other vehicles. I'm planning on flying about 17,000, 18,000 feet. When we get to home of, we need to be at 4,000 feet, so I'll just wait until see our airport on the GPS, and then I'll worry about that. I can't spin my heading bugger, I can't spin my VOR around my glass cockpit to line us up with the runway for the ILS, so even though we are tuned into ILS, it's not going to do us any good. That's fine, it would be a completely visual anyway. Stay level here. Actually, I think we can increase our rate of climb a little more. Look out the windows. Not a whole lot yet. Just some stars in front of us. So from Thunder Bay to Duluth is about a 3.5 hour drive in a car. It's not going to be that long in an airplane, of course. But you are watching a slightly edited version because this is going to be a good hour flight or so. This airplane is not incredibly fast. It's a good climber, it's a good cruiser, fuel efficient, but it doesn't go very fast. In fact, you can see we would redline at 250, even at this altitude, which is below the speed limit of, or it is the speed limit below 10,000 feet for commercial jets. So I'm going to have to turn my landing legs off. Let me dampen the hub out a little bit. Disable my pedals and use rudder control on my yoke. Oh, I love this going through the clouds. That's cool. About 18,000 feet. I think I'll go up to 20. Of course, if this were a hired charter, we would have a commercial plan or a company plan instead of winging it like this. But still fun. It's time to level off. I think. Kind of close to red line here. Drawing back the throttle a little bit. I'm watching this airport down here for a while. It might be Grand Marais. Not exactly sure. Oh, we're really getting pushed off course. Of course, Lake Superior's out there. Can't see it. I see the shoreline though. Some roads and cities. And we'll fly here till we intercept our course again. Alright, so we come out here and you can see the boundary of the lights. See how there's a light? Oh, there's a line there. Over here. Well, this line isn't as defined because the road is not as busy of an area. There you can see it stops there. When we get closer to Duluth, it'll be more obvious, but you can just see how the road stops. See, there's quite, it's defined where it stops. Having clouds on helps a lot. You can see the lake with the sun, or with the moon. The clouds help mask it a little bit. But see here, you can see the road just all stops. See how they went away? There's a straight line there. So the area of lighting isn't very big. Even though I have my render distance set to maximum. So when you're up in the air like this, it's kind of silly. But when you're lower down, the night lighting in X-Plane 10 is just phenomenal. Oops, I'm so far off course. I'm so busy looking around. This seems to be the best scenery so far. So here I'm just looking at the shoreline, Highway 61. It's pretty much the only road between Duluth and the Canadian border. talking about this highway along the shore. See some stars. Poor passenger in the middle who gets squished. Out over the lake. Cannot see into Wisconsin or Michigan from here. In Duluth you can though. Alright, 65 nautical miles. We'll start coming down a little bit here. Not too much at once. I don't really have any plan in mind other than being at 4,000 feet at home of, which you're going to have to estimate, because I couldn't seem to find a way to get the waypoint in there. The clouds, you can see the roads. Stay along the shoreline here. Now we're below the clouds. See how it just loaded in front of us there? At least I can see the shoreline. So we'll stay at about 15,000 feet or so for now. I'm going to fly out over the water. And these airports here, we're going to keep them on our wing. Because like I said before, this line is going directly to the airport. If we were going direct to our waypoint, you'd be going out this way to meet up with our waypoint. Not sure why we're 92 miles from, but I know here we're 47 from our destination. There's another airport out there. There you can see the shoreline if you know where to look. Highway 61, the moon, and there's a nice shoreline view. One airport's over there. You can see the traffic moving down there if you know where to look. City of two harbors there. That airport's modeled, somebody else did it, but here's the grid pattern of the city. Some lighthouses out there in real life. And this would be the expressway into Duluth. About a 25-minute drive from this point in real life. Maybe a little lower than I had anticipated. Mainly because I just want to do some sightseeing. Kind of turned into a VFR flight. So here you can see all of our airport with all of our waypoints, but our waypoints aren't labeled, so we want to be out here pretty much out here, then we'll go straight in. 270 degrees for runway 27. That looks nice. Seeing that may be our airport there. No, I don't think so. Hard to tell from this distance until it fills all in. It's hard to recognize the area. And it's not all rendered and I am not paying attention to my flying because I'm so busy sightseeing. Isn't that the story of my life? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the airport right here. That has to be the airport right there. 2 runways, yep. Okay, so I gotta figure out, how I'm gonna do this without much guidance here. We do need to be down 4,400 feet. Keep in mind there is a gigantic lake in front of us that we cannot see. It's kind of disturbing and freaky knowing there's water down there, not too far below us. And we gotta slow down. We are above the speed limit. The rendering is filling in for us. But that's not our airport. Has to be. Well, it has to be different. Yeah, there are 2 runways there. So in real life, the airplanes do come out way out here. In fact, they come out further. They're more out over the lake. There you can see less clouds, but you can see Wisconsin here. Right? They're further out over the lake in real life, and then they come in and landing. In fact, yeah, there's Sky Harbor there. There's Wisconsin there. There are the radio towers with the high school there. Yeah, that's definitely airport. The Sky Harbor, KUWS, KSUW, can't remember what the call letters are for Wisconsin, but there are 2 airports right next to each other, 2 runways. There's the top of the hill, there's our airport. So, 4,000, look at that. We're going to be exactly right on target, right where we should be. Alright. This is where we need to be. So this would be our waypoint here probably. No, it's not labeled. So we're headed right for it, spot on the money. Our altitude, we're dipping a little bit, but we were spot on. Not too shabby. Some nose up trim. A little bit. I'll drop the gear as soon as we turn on the final. I forgot to look up the landing speed for this plane. Well, we should get something on our tape there telling us. Alright, I'd better turn in and not losing our altitude or welcome to the airport. If we get too low, then we can't see. There we go, we're almost up to runway 27. This isn't rendered yet, but this will be pretty bright. This is where downtown is. Let's drop gear. Drop for a set of flaps. And I'm going too fast for flaps. Not too fast for gear apparently, because it just kicked me. Stable. Wow, very stable. So stable I thought it crashed for a minute. I got more city. So it's runway 27, so we're at 276, but we're about runway heading. Plates here, Pappies. Wow, that is really stable. Wow. Anyway, back to sightseeing quickly. Downtown Duluth, going up to Park Point. The 2 airports I talked about more than I needed to. I love those airports. A couple big bridges you can't see because they're too far away for it to render. Like I said, any scenery developers out there watching, if anybody wants to Model, Duluth, Minnesota, Canal Park, Park Point. I think a lot of people would buy it along with its paper quality. And it is gorgeous. Alright, we're going a little slower than we need to probably, but we're going to stay right here because I'm stable and I'm in control of what I'm doing. So we're just going to stay right here and enjoy the scenery. Let's do one more outside shot here. There we go, that's nice. Welcome to Duluth, Minnesota at night. You can't tell from here, it's 800-foot hill from the water line here to the top of the hill where the airport is 800 feet. I think it's 800 feet, yeah. I used to have all this stuff memorized, I can't remember anymore. But anyway, you can look it up for yourself if you're really interested. I'm sure you only need one set of flaps. It's a very long runway. Big planes can land here if they want to. You'll see the traffic moving, that's really cool. So yeah, so this is where night lighting shines. When you're coming in for an approach at night, or when you're doing low altitude VFR. That's where the night lighting shines in X-plane. We're not high enough to see where the lights end. They just disappear into the distance. There you can see some of the huge bridges now. Big bridge there, big bridge there. You can start to see the neighborhoods now, and the cars and the stoplights. All those red lights are stop. Well, the moving ones are cars, the stationary ones are stoplights. So yeah, the night lighting really shines at an approach and VFI, low altitude. Not so much about the clouds. I like watching the cars move when the stoplights turn from red to green. That's awesome. A little left of the runway. So, some altitude now. Looks like I've got all red on my pappy, so might still be a little low. I just kind of frustrated with myself that I didn't look up my landing speed. See, I know these other airplanes so well that I fly all the time that I just take it for granted. When I hop in, I know what to take off at, I know what to land at, I know what to approach at. But on this guy, I have no idea, so I'm planning on coming in a little fast. Not telling me I'm too low to the ground. Anyway, I'm planning on coming in fast and floating the end of the runway and then landing a little ways down, because I'd rather come in too fast than too slow and crash. I can always bleed off speed at the last seconds and then use the whole runway. I really want to do some sightseeing. Oh, I'm gonna have to do this in replay mode. I can't sightsee right now. I'm gonna have to sightsee in replay mode. Sorry, guys and gals. And you all folks is what I really should be saying. Still says I'm a little low, doesn't it? I feel like I'm coming in too fast. I imagine I'm coming in too fast. I can't imagine my landing speed is going to be much over 110. Using a glass cockpit, you'll see the red, green, and yellow and white here. But I've only seen the red when I was too fast. I haven't seen my bottom speed yet. It still says I'm too low, doesn't it? Yeah, I haven't seen my minimum speed yet, so I don't know what my minimum speed is. I didn't see it when I was taking off either. It says I'm too low, but I feel like I'm too high. Usually if you're too low, you can't see the runway. Nose coverage in. See, I'm losing control, so I think I'm a little too slow. I'm starting to lose control here. Pretty sure I don't need a second set of flaps when I'm thinking about it. Well, that might be too tough to stabilize. I'm too close. One hand on the throttle, one hand on the yoke. see it. I feel like I'm way too high. Why is it telling me I'm too low? I have no idea where the ground is. So I'm just going to float. Full throttle now. Floating. It's going to float. Float. Take out. We're going to float back. Float. Eventually we got to touch the ground. There we go. Melting the brakes. Okay, where are the taxiways? Flaps can come up. Where are the taxiways? I know this airport well, but at night it's a little different. So we're just going to taxi along until we see blue lights. And we prepare my taxi light. No, I left my taxi lights on the whole time. That's right, they don't work anyway. I need to use my landing lights to see the taxi. Okay, so here we go. Here we got the aqua. There we go. Whoa. Fortunately, whoever modeled this put in center line lights for the taxiway. How kind of them. Nice. This is great. I can actually see where we're going. I'm going to keep my taxi lights on, or my landing lights on though, as headlights. So, I can't remember exactly which hangar is technically Cirrus. Because one of these is not Northwest, Delta. It used to be Northwest Airlines. I believe this is the Delta hangar in real life, I believe. So one of these has to be Cirrus. I know they want to do an expansion. I don't know if that expansion's actually been approved, but they've been looking for money from the city of Duluth to expand the Cirrus part. So, this would be Delta. Up here are the hangars. You can see the airplane sitting at the terminal. They got 4 or 5 ramps. We're going to park here because I believe this is Cirrus. Things change, so it may not be anymore. I don't know. Whoa, motorcycle, sorry. Park right here. Sorry, I'm blinding everybody with my taxi light, my landing lights, but I need to see where I'm going. Pull up here, service to the limousines. Stop here. Parking lights. Let's see. We'll turn that off, that off, that off. We'll keep that off, that off, that off. We'll turn that off now. Kill engine. There's a door somewhere around here. Is that one? This opens up. With this. Well, you see the hand, right? Somehow this front canopy opens up. Did I turn off something I needed on? Sometimes you need like weird switches on to open doors and things. You see the hand, right? There we go. There. Okay, we'll put that off now. Let's keep the generator. Oh no, we turn that off. We're gonna lose everything. I don't want to lose everything. There's no GPU. So we'll just do that. And then I'll turn everything off in a second. So, welcome to Duluth. Welcome to Cirrus headquarters in Duluth, Minnesota. Hope you enjoyed our 5-leg trip around Lake Superior. I hope there's enough variety that it wasn't the same flight 5 times anyway.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed flying aircraft I haven't flown before. It's nice to learn on the fly. Ooh, bad pun. I didn't mean to pun that. I don't know these other aircraft as well, obviously, but it's still fun to play around with them, mess around with them. If you like it, subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.